Welcome to the Copy Talk podcast. Discussions in this show should not be construed as specific recommendations or investment advice. Always consult with your investment professional before making important investment decisions. Securities offered through registered representatives of Cambridge Investment Research Incorporated, a broker-dealer member, FINRA SIPC. Advisory services through Cambridge Investment Research Advisors Incorporated, a registered investment advisor. Financial planning services through Lighthouse Financial, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Shannon Roth is CEO and managing partner of Lighthouse Financial. Lighthouse and Cambridge are not affiliated. And now, here's your host, Shannon Roth.
Well, hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. It's summer. It's June. We just had the longest day of the year pass yesterday, I think.
21st, right? When it's 21st?
Or the 22nd. I read it was but I don't know.
Whatever.
We passed it a couple days ago. So hello, everyone. Oh, I still have my sunglasses. No, I don't.
No, you don't. I would have told you.
It's funny when you wear sunglasses on your head for a long time, you always feel like they're there.
Oh,
So I took them off.
I don't do that because that's one quick way to lose them for me.
Are you having a good week? You look all Western and ready to go.
So we don't have our concert this weekend.
Yes.
Neither you nor me, because Chris Stapleton has COVID.
Which he tweeted it, so we're not
breaking any HIPAA rules.
That.
Well, and we're not like close with him. It's not like
and it was funny because we were very curious of like, why did they switch it? Was it because of hockey or what was going on?
Well, I was blaming hockey.
Yeah,
I mean, although #go Avs. Yes, they won again. But Chris Stapleton, we hope you heal fast from the vid, man. That's why I wore my little hat today that was supposed to be. Oh, hold on.
For the concert.
Kelly's fixing me. Hold on, Kelly. You could always come in the shot, Kel. We would. Copy Talk World would love to see you. So this was for Chris Stapleton, and I don't get to wear it this weekend.
Well, you just got it yesterday.
I know.
We picked it out. She picked this out because it covers her face the most.
Well,
like that's literally.
Oh my God! Now I can't. Kelly just fixed me, and now do you see? I had it back though, and I know.
I did. I know because I was like, we need to still see your face.
Bruises stay covered up.
So I know we do hope Chris Stapleton gets better.
Get better.
We're excited for the
Chris.
concert.
Yeah. Am I okay?
So
Kel?
Good.
Okay. That's okay. We're keeping it real in this room.
Gotta keep the beauty queen.
Yeah. Well, and I asked Kelly earlier, Copy Talk World, if my
yes, you had a little mishap. What happened?
Want to hear what happened? Any inquiring minds want to know? Shannon,
I'm sure our audience wants to know.
Now that you've just
you bested it up.
Okay. I was leading my donkeys to the arena the other day, and I had both of them, which is probably stupid because still together they're 600 pounds.
Sure.
I don't know. I'm not 600 pounds.
They're short, but they're still kind of mighty. Yeah.
They're tiny but mighty is what they are.
Yes.
Like their mama. So I was leading to the arena, and they were actually, I have to lead them behind me because Pete will only stay behind Pistol. So I can't put one on each side because Pete's way too codependent and he'll cross. And I always thought that was dangerous. Anyways, they were behind me and something spooked Pete. And that little, I won't say it on the show, even though that is what he technically is. Took off running. Well, so did Pistol because they're not going to be apart.
Yeah.
And they yanked me clear off my feet sideways into my gravel drive that I have by the arena. Pulled me a little bit. I mean, I finally let go because this is, but now where we're at is not closed in. So this means they can run and take off, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So I hit the ground hard on my side and multiple things were going through my head at once. Like how many fingernails are broken. Which they were, and how, like, where am I bleeding? But I quickly jump up to find out where these little, are, and they have run between the arena and the pasture. So they did at least, and at the end of that is a fence. So at least they were there, and by the time I get over there, they're just eating, like just happy as a clam. I then assess the damage of where the blood's coming from and the bruises. Yeah, and my husband and son weren't home. So it was just me.
all by yourself.
Yeah,
you had a helpful neighbor.
Yeah. I had to call my neighbor. She came down. We built a barricade. We got him back in. Those little... Anyways, so that's it for the arena with those guys.
Oh, yeah. Well.
And I can't lead them separately because freaking Pete can't be by himself.
It's like a jigsaw puzzle.
So whatever. So now they're mad at me because they haven't gotten to go play. And I'm like, well, it's your dumb fault. Anyways, so if you see my bruises, that's... I took a little tumble with the donkeys.
Well, at least you didn't bust up your face or something like that. I mean, that would be bad.
At first I was like, oh my God, how is rock burn all? Totally. Unfortunately, I had boots on. Yeah. So, my piggies didn't get messed up.
Yeah.
Because that would have been bad. The piggies, the nails, and shout out to my nail guy, Dat, got me in that night. I was like, Dat,
priorities.
After I got the donkeys in.
You have your nail technician on speed dial.
I had just got them done the day before, which I understand. Maybe not everybody understands, but that's painful when one gets ripped off.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyways, Dad got me at 7:15 that night. Yep,
You survived. You survived.
Yep. Anyways,
Well, good.
Yeah.
Well, good. Well, today's show, we're going to have a couple updates on some things we talked about last week
Yep.
regarding the financial updates. It's
Right.
kind of a continuing saga,
Right.
so I'll give a little bit update. But you have a couple fun things
Yep.
too.
I get to go first.
One of the fun articles, though, I wanted because we talked a lot about Kate Bush last week of Stranger Things.
yes,
She's
yes, yes.
the 1985 artist who sings the Running Up the Hill song that's a hit.
Yep.
That she owns because she wrote it, recorded it in 1985. She hasn't really done a whole lot since.
No, she's superstar again.
Do you know how much she's making a week because of because she owns it all? Like there's no other. She owns every single right to the song.
Oh, I love games, so let me guess. Are we greater than 200K?
Oh yeah.
Ooh. Greater than 300K?
Yes.
Greater than 500K?
Yes. She's making $1 million a week. And keep in mind, $1 million a week. And she's not having to do anything new. Like she's not having to do anything. It's just because of what she owns and what she did in 85.
Except
I'm so happy for her.
That's exciting, but a lot of
life
taxes.
changing.
That's
so yeah, that I saw that in the news article.
That's very exciting for her, though. Way to go, Kate Bush!
Congratulations.
I don't even know what she looks like or who she is. But
she
I love
has
the
a
song.
picture of not her recent picture, but her 85 picture. She probably looks a little unrecognizable now.
Google
but
Images will tell us
exactly.
Ooh,
what did you bring us today?
Well,
I'm excited about one of them.
Yeah, we'll do some. I have to. We'll do it real quick because it's face care. We've talked about this for summer.
Yes.
Changing up a bit. If you're tuning in, all right. You brought these up last week. People, you've probably seen these ladies all over, different brands of these beautiful little iPads that go into your eyes. Personally, these are a staple. I do not run out of these. I keep these on hand and I use them every day. So we all know.
What are they called?
Except for the other young bucks in the room. Hold on, I'm getting there. Your eyes will start to age quickly, kind of like your neck. They will tell you. They will tell your true age if you don't know this. This is a real thing. So these are Peter Thomas Roth iPads. These are the It's not attractive. Hydrogel eye patches, 24 karat gold.
They're gold.
Lift
like
and
they
firm.
Go right here.
They are. You can't see this if you're listening, but they are legitimately like a gold color.
Do they have liquid inside?
Okay, so well, they have liquid on them, so naturally it is. Yes, it's
so they like stick. They're like stickers.
Well, I wouldn't call them stick but they stay on. Let's just put it that way. I wouldn't use the word stick as much, but that's not the point. I will say that I do these a little bit differently. I know that shocks everyone. Most people, I'll do this fast. Yes, I'm gonna waste one because I'm doing the work for the people. This is what I'm doing.
Oh, there's like a little fork in there.
Yeah, so you get a little fork. This little guy,
little spoon thing.
Yeah, well, it's
scooper.
They're not cheap. I will say this, but if you are wanting stuff done under your eyes and you want to go spend hundreds of dollars at the esthetician or the med spa, hey, good on you. I'm not against that.
Sure.
But it is expensive and this is a cheaper
way to do it. And it requires shots. So this is less painful.
This is no needles involved.
Yes.
So most people do this from the thinner to the, I'm not going to put this on. I don't. No.
Oh.
I do the thicker and then
that makes sense.
Yep.
You're maybe more swollen here.
Yeah. So this kind of, it infuses, it kind of, I don't have dark circle issues, so I don't have that problem. But like, you start to concave, you start to get fine lines and wrinkles there, unless you want to get lift and firm.
Lift and firm.
Mm-hmm.
They have those in a bodysuit.
They write that down as an invention.
I know. 24 karat gold liquid hydrating bodysuit
that you can slip into for 10 minutes a day. This is you put them on 10 minutes. You can put this on while you're doing something else, whatever.
Like on a clean face.
This is on a clean face only.
Before or after moisturizer?
Okay, so
you wash it with soap and then put those on? Or soap or whatever.
So
I know you don't
do this, right? Like this makes me okay. So as long as you do it before, if you use any under eye treatments, which I do, but only at night, don't put that on before you do this.
Okay.
My
it's like bare skin.
This is bare skin. Like anything that you do under your orbital bone area, fine. I mean, that's my hyaluronic acid, cream, lotion, toner, all the things, vitamin C. Just don't go above your orbital bone. But you shouldn't be doing that with any of your face care. You should never go above your orbital bone, and you should only use eye. So a little nugget there, and these are leaking on me. But Noticeable difference. Like, this isn't just you put it on and, did I? Noticeable difference.
You put them on before you start your
Before you
makeup.
do your makeup.
Okay.
Yes.
And why are they wet?
Well, because I just spilled some of the stuff on them. Like, I grabbed one number,
hydrogel
I
kinda
pulled it
stuff.
out.
Okay.
So I got some of the stuff on my hand, so that's fun. Okay, real quick.
This stuff.
This game changer. I mean, this is
Oh.
a game changer too for your under
For
eye.
your eyes.
This, once again, microdermabrasion, needling, microneedling, dermaplaning, all that great things. If they're hundreds of dollars, again, not knocking it. Good on you. But if you want to be able to do like a chemical peel, and don't think like you're not going to turn red.
Yeah.
This says daily. Now, I will say these are like $85 a box, which isn't cheap. But while this says I use extra strength because I don't have sensitive skin, they do have one for sensitive skin as well and a regular skin. You don't need to do this daily. So this box lasts me, I do one a week. You really don't need to exfoliate your skin.
Use one of those weird brush things.
Okay, so real quick. Now, I'm not going to open this because these...
That's like cash in a bag.
I
yeah.
won't do this. So you have step 1, and you take this and just... This is dry skin. This is nothing. You've done nothing. No lotion, no nothing. This is on your bare skin. All over your face. Do you like that? And that's going to sit for 2 to 3 minutes.
Okay.
And then you step 2, this is going to be the smoothing pad. They're just these little white pads.
Oh.
And this is a game changer on your face.
Because it
Exfoliates and smooths, and you will absolutely notice the difference. Not only, so yes, your makeup, but when you put on like your next step, so if you're doing your serums and your lotions and whatever, you will even notice a difference when you put those things on after you finish this, and then you will definitely notice.
You're talking very fast like I do when we do finance.
Well, we only have so much time on this show.
I want to know, like, okay, so you do that. So do you do that at night? Once a week?
How have I not told you about this? Oh, you've seen.
You might have.
This.
I forget.
Okay,
I lose it
true.
after like 3 steps.
Well,
so like
true.
after 3 steps, I'm like, yeah, it's not gonna happen.
This is only once a week.
Okay.
I actually did it this morning. What were you gonna ask me? I'm so sorry, I cut you off.
So once a week, like before your night care routine.
I do this in the morning.
Stuff. Okay.
I do know a lot of people that do it night before bed, and that is not a bad idea. I mean, it's probably even better. But you're going to notice, in my opinion, you will definitely notice a difference in your application. So if you use primer before your foundation, that sort of thing, I think you notice more of a difference. So that's just, anyways, this is, yes, it's $85.
How many are in there?
Even if
how many weeks does a box get you?
Oh, God. Well, don't make me do this on camera where I have to do this.
I love it. You want me to look at it?
No. Shut up. It's written in orange. You know how hard it is to read orange? I don't know. It's a lot. But I honestly...
A couple months worth, a month worth.
Okay, so there are 35 treatments in here.
Oh, so 35 weeks worth, theoretically.
I do once a week. Yep.
So, okay.
And it is really true. Even if you don't buy these, you really shouldn't exfoliate your skin every day. I know a lot of people that do that. And $3. It's a waste of money.
$3 per peel, which is a lot cheaper than
it's a great way to break it down.
Getting
look at that quick math.
$300 peel or whatever. However
yeah, now
much
the place. I mean, when you get medical grade, they are a game changer. But this also,
but they also make your face flake off, and you can't go anywhere for a week. I've heard because you're so red.
That's true. But I mean, it really does look good afterwards. I've never done it before, but I know an anesthetist, and it's amazing if you get past all the red flaky. Just again for people, you will not.
What's it called?
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. This is by Dr. Dennis Gross. It's Gross. It might be gross, but I just have a really hard time calling him that. So I don't know really how you pronounce his name, but I say Gross, and it is that's a non-English side. Extra strength daily peel. You can get him at Sephora.
Okay, so it's just his name.
Dr. Dennis Gross. You get 5 bonus treatments. Anyways, that's
interesting.
This is a game changer for the routine.
The last question I'm going to ask you, because
go for it.
This is part of I think for many people who get overwhelmed.
Well, I know Ryan's dying to know.
A lot of men do a lot more things than you think. Okay, so give us like a short rundown
you should tune up.
of the steps, like, because you do all the things. So, and I'm not making fun of you for that. I'm actually very curious about because a lot of people don't understand. They hear buzzwords, but they don't understand the placement of them. Like, I still have so many things in my drawer that I'm like serum, something, whatever, and I don't use it because I'm like, Okay. I use face wash. And then I use moisturizer, and then I go into my makeup routine, which has gotten more complicated, which is good because of our trip and the things I bought at Sephora. However, before makeup, so let's just do skincare. Okay. So, and let's
'Cause let
do
me say this.
morning.
You can buy the most expensive makeup on the market.
Yes.
You are not taking care of your skin.
Right.
I'm just saying, you're wasting your money.
Sure.
I would encourage people to spend more on their skincare routine. And again, stay within your budget. Everybody's got a different budget. But there are some things and options out there that you can do that, again, like I can't afford to go to a Medi Spa and get all the.
Sure.
No, yep, okay,
Yeah.
don't, because they are expensive. There's some other options.
So most people out there, they have 3 steps. They maybe
Yep.
have a face wash, a toner, and a moisturizer.
Yeah,
Okay, that's pretty
which is great.
typical. What are the other things you recommend in and around that?
Okay. Everyone should have a hyaluronic acid serum. Everyone should have a vitamin C serum, and everybody should have a retinoid cream. Staples.
Okay, what do those 3 things do?
Oh,
We can get into,
some of these I was going to bring to the podcast.
Well, we will. Oh, it'll take multiple times to kind of learn what these things, because you're going to bring it in. So,
well, I try to lead up to though. Okay, all right.
2 minutes.
You're kind of hacking my segment here.
I know. I'm asking you questions. Do you know how many questions you asked me during my segment?
I know. Well, that's fair. Yeah. Okay. So face wash. I currently use. If anybody's heard of the Dime line, I really like that line. I've used all kinds of Sunday Rileys, whatever, but I do like Dime. That new line that's been all over social media, and I totally fell for it and bought it. I did. But I do love it. I love the whole line. I use all of it. And I feel like their price points are not as off the charts as a lot of some of the other ones that I've bought that I'm like, I can't just believe I paid that for cleanser. But yeah, so cleanser, toner. Let's pretend like this isn't in our step that week. This is going to be after you wash. So this is before you do anything else. So you wash your face, bare skin. But and then hyaluronic acid. You can cocktail. So your vitamin C and your hyaluronic acid, I cocktail and mix.
Which means you mix it together.
I mix it together.
It took me a little while to learn, like, what does that mean?
Cocktail. Yep. And then
and you put that on when?
So hold on. It's cleanser, toner, cocktail. Okay. And it depends on night and day. We're boring our audience with this.
We'll go step by step. Segment by segment.
I'll be bringing those two, and then I'll tell you what they do and why they're important.
Okay, so
because we have to leave enough time for my fun story today.
Okay, yes. I mean, it's interesting because, again, you are an expert in this field.
I'm not an expert.
People should.
I just play. I'm like a 5-year-old.
The conversations you can get are almost like chemistry questions with other professionals who are as passionate in this area. Like, I've listened to you guys, and I'm like, I lost you like 5 names ago because of like how much you can drop in terms of like all the names. So for a lot of people out there, they want to know because you hear it and you want to know what's worth. If you're gonna have some money to spend in this kind of self-care category, you want to get the right things. True. You don't want to just listen to someone who's trying to make a sale.
That's true.
So,
because I got nothing to gain from this.
Yeah,
I will say
your disclosures.
There's no. I won't. This isn't a disclosure. There is a new clay mask that's out on the market. I'm going to do the work for the people. I'm not on the show, but I'm going to do it at home, and I'm going to let you know how it goes because it's getting a lot of 5 stars. I don't currently own a clay mask. I do a lot of oil-based masks and that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
but I'm going to do it.
Oh,
and I'll let you know how it goes.
Very exciting.
Yeah. It's exciting.
You'll have to post a picture on Instagram.
I haven't bought it yet.
You know
how much I post on social media.
I know.
I don't remember the last time.
Do you notice, because we'll kind of use this into a segment, into our financial segment. Mm-hmm. Do you notice, because again, you do buy, quite a bit of products.
Yep.
Do you notice?
VIB at Sephora, baby. I do save money though. I get cash back and all kinds of stuff.
I'm sure you do.
And if I use certain points, I can knock off 10, 20, 30 bucks off a ticket.
Heck yeah.
Just saying. All right.
All right.
Yep.
So money. Do you notice, because what we saw, and I have some tidbits regarding, last week we were talking about just inflation and what's going on and what the Fed is doing. And we're going to kind of go back into that a little bit with some financial news from this week, because the market tanked like we predicted it would right after the announcement of the interest rate increase. So, it lost about another between 5 and 7%. So lots of people unhappy about that. But do you find that when you go buy these kind of products, because what's happening is inflation is kind of like an amoeba and infecting more and more and more products. So in April, only about 20% of consumer goods were affected by inflation. At the end of May, it reports to 80% affected by inflation.
So you're asking me if I've noticed any price changes?
Yeah.
Not Not significant. If they are, they're so minuscule, I don't notice them, and I do look at prices, obviously,
Sure.
and I buy a lot of the same products over and over
Yeah.
again.
That's why I was just curious.
Like these two I haven't had to buy since there's been a significant change, so I'll be interested to see.
Yeah.
But mostly it's been supply.
Yes.
A lot of supplies are still down at like Sephora and places. I mean, it's one of my main places I shop for, but even online, a lot of things are still back ordered. So it's been more supply than cost.
Okay.
Is
Got
what
it.
I've noticed.
Well, the new consumer numbers came out a couple days ago, and what was interesting also is it talks about the destruction of demand because of a couple things, costs rising so rapidly. So I was put at ease a little bit by reading this article because it was all about how people are starting to curb spending, which is exactly what I want to see people to do, just because of what's not going to let up anytime really soon. So the Fed chairman, Jerome Powell, met with Congress just yesterday, and his whole point was we are going aggressive, like very aggressive in their actions, which they are backing up with their decisions to to tackle inflation, and their goal is to get it to 2% by the end of the year. So Congress's reaction to that was very disheartened because they want to balance the economy. They're saying, yes, inflation, but what's worse than inflation is a recession where you have higher unemployment, you have high inflation, and now you have kind of an economic complete meltdown. And so it was interesting. He didn't really back down, though. I mean, usually the Fed chairs in the past have been very influenced by the president at the time and Congress at the time. But I think they are being, and I understand why, because, they're the professionals in the financial world and understand more than anybody, senators and congressmen and women included, of what they can do and what's in their toolkit to keep this economy from diving off a cliff long term and allowing inflation to just continue to run rampant.
Right.
So it's, there's several articles out there kind of going through what the exchange was between Powell and specifically Senator Elizabeth Warren, who's the famous Democrat from Massachusetts. But I mean, they are going to push hard.
Is that the one who said she was an Indian?
I think so.
I just had to ask.
But
nothing's wrong with that.
But you're going to hear a term. So this is the goal, and they talk about it: achieving a soft landing.
Okay.
Which is soft landing, where policies are tightened, just like they're doing, without severe economic circumstances as a recession.
Okay.
And he said it will be difficult. It's our goal, but it will be very challenging. So it's very honest. Sometimes the Fed chair is very political in nature, and they don't really like to rock the boat because they know every word that comes out of their mouth. The market then responds to, because it's a very sobering kind of role. So everything that the Fed chair says is heavy. And just weight, carries a lot of weight. Yeah. And so I'm interested to see what the markets do today and tomorrow because of that meeting, because they printed out all the notes and back and forth. And his main point is like, it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Yeah.
So again, reiterating the message that we were giving our audience last week as to where you can shave down, where you can start to save, where can you consolidate revolving kind of debt that has adjustable interest rates. Right. And where can you get rid of some nice to haves, So maybe, maybe the face mask thing waits a few months. Who knows? But
I don't know how much it costs.
But it can be a way to save money. Like if you're going, and a lot of women I know, especially over the age, I would say of 50, do spend a pretty penny on a lot of their aesthetics just because they've been able to.
Yeah, and
but these products are actually a way to maybe, shave off.
Instead of spending $350 on this, do this for a while and then go back to your Medi Spa, because I'm not against those at all.
One of the people who I read about yesterday who responded after the Fed chair meeting with Congress is, we all know Shark Tank. It's a great show. Yeah. Mr. Wonderful, Kevin Leary is one of the main. Kevin O'Leary is one of the main cast members. And I know there's a lot of embellishment and acting, but him and Mark Cuban are the two I always pay attention to because they're the most sophisticated businessmen. Okay. They always go to the numbers. They always understand more of the economics than any other person in the room. Okay. And they're the ones that usually fire off those financial questions to the potential business owners who are trying to sell and get a shark to buy into their product. Right. And so it was interesting. So his reaction was, the numbers that he looks at, he sees no evidence in what his assessment has been so far, and through the companies he studies and owns and so forth, that there's still not a recession anytime soon, because his point is $4.5 trillion were poured into the economy as a productive boost to kind of inflate. So that has not all been spent yet. So he says that there's no evidence of an impending slowdown or recession, but he says yet. And so he kind of caveats that of like, it's not here. But then he also talks about the soft landing approach of, kind of respecting what the Fed is trying to do. So, not to panic people, but it's more of the potential forecast. Okay. So it's more like we talked about last week's show. We were talking about more of the tsunami effect. Yeah. And so what can we do now in case it goes sideways? Yeah. I think what COVID trained us is you kind of have to prepare for the long haul, because I think when we first were in shelter in place, no one thought it was going to be kind of a 2-year type of journey. Yeah. They all thought, okay, we'll shelter in place for 2 weeks and this will be over, and like everything else, we just move on. Right. And that has not been the case. Another concerning coming out of the Bureau of Statistics this week was savings. They kind of also poll what the average percent of savings people have right now, and it's been cut in half. So it's usually around 8.8%. It's now down 4.4%. Okay. So and I also energy is up 34.6% in increase. Not shocking. Wow. We all get gas every day. Yeah. Food is up 10.1%. All other consumer items up 6%. Other than food and energy. And so it added then all of the items. That's where they get the 8.6% inflation coming out of May. Okay. So we'll see what June brings. But, it is, those kind of numbers are starting to change behavior, which is dialing down the demand, which will also help, because it's not just it's also the supply chain shortages and the shutdowns in China. Yeah. There was, by the time they just recovered from this last one, they're going into shutdown again. Right. And so, it's not just companies that do business over in China, but most American products have Chinese parts. Right. So it's going to take a while. And I'm very interested in the midterms and different elections that are happening about a push to become more domestically dependent again. Because, everything's fine in a global economy and we can all, barter and exchange and all this kind of when everyone's healthy. But when you're coming out of something so polarizing like COVID, and you see different countries recovering at different rates, there's definitely some benefits, at least to have some kind of product in every category that is truly U.S. based, truly U.S. made, 100%. And also, obviously, we'll see a lot of, I think, politicians start to talking about getting energy dependent domestically as well.
I mean,
don't
you think
we were well on our way until the recent change in administration? And, there was obviously a lot of pros and cons to the Keystone Pipeline, but that will definitely be, I think, a focus on our upcoming elections. So I know in a lot of states, midterms are coming up. So get out and vote. Yep, you can't complain unless you vote. You got to have your vote out there casted. So
I think I texted you the other day after I went, I think, was it last show? I was like, oh my God, I just paid $5.15 a gallon, which is.
I paid $5.62.
I paid $5.65. I mean, it finally got up to $130 and was still going. And I was like, I'm going to throw up here at the gas station. So I'm just going to cut this thing off.
Totally.
Because, ouch.
Yeah.
And,
I know. So the memes coming out are kind of funny, though, of like people's reaction at the gas
at some point you got to try to laugh
because they're like,
it.
I'll have a pack of gum and I'll have 200 on pump 3. Where it was used to be like $2. So,
it's true.
And the one that I sent you, I don't think we brought it up last week, but like by the time all this is shakedown, I think we should have just gone with Kanye. I mean, it was one of the funniest memes I saw.
Yeah, maybe we should consider
so I do see, I at every pump now, you should look out if you haven't seen one yet. It's only a matter of time, but there's some disgruntled people putting Biden stickers on every single pump I go to.
I haven't seen one in a while. I used to see them all the time.
Not that it's but
somebody might be taking them.
And
off.
Then you see like half of Biden's face because everyone got mad and tried to rip it off, but they couldn't get it all. So it's funny.
I mean,
so
There's some funny stuff.
Yeah,
to
so
laugh
hang
at.
on, hang in there. I respect that the Fed is taking this bull by the horns and literally getting as aggressive as they need to, but it's going to be very bumpy while they do it.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a pilot flying. There's no choice. There's a huge thunderstorm in front of them. And so they're trying to get aggressive and either fly through it or around it. But the turbulence on those kind of flights. It's uncomfortable. It's scary. You think you're going to die.
Yeah.
Like all of these things.
This is it.
This is that ride for us right now as a nation.
Yeah.
And so we just need to buckle our safety belts, say our prayers, and just hold on tight and just get through it. Because it's not indefinite. It's not going to be forever, but it's just going to be for the now. Quite bumpy.
And to make some necessary changes now.
Absolutely. It will only serve you well.
Yeah. In
the
long run.
What's our happy news story to end the show today?
First, real quick, and I may save this one for next week, but it is a feel-good story. This is going to be a small segment called How Stupid Can You Be? I saw this morning, and I nearly... Dang it, my article. I must have accidentally closed it. Essentially, I don't need to go into all the details. A group of teenagers in Florida. Teenagers, I'm not hating on you if any of you listen to this, but we should Google when does the human brain finish developing.
Seriously.
A group of teenagers broke into a Florida $8 million home, broke into it and threw like a crazy raging party posted it on social media. And this is not like it was the niece or the nephew of these, but no. These homeowners don't have a clue who these kids are. They were out of town. They had put the house up for sale, but they were still living in it.
Yeah.
And one of the teens had seen it listed for sale and thought, let's do this. Kids, they go into their bedrooms. They're trying on all their jewelry, their clothes, in beds, having crazy boxing matches in their foyer, like the damage and the stuff. So the Florida, it was Walton County, I think, said, it's actually illegal to have an open house party. I mean, this wasn't just one small, it grew into a massive group. He's like, it's not only illegal to have an open house party, but when you have an open house party that you break into, that's also burglary.
Yeah.
And the owners of the Florida home have said, we will press all charges to the full extent of the law. And the guy, the chief, whatever, he goes, and for those of you out there that think Snapchat is private, it's actually not. And we're going to subpoena Snapchat.
Yeah.
We can subpoena them. And your friends will snitch on you. And this is how they're locating all these teenagers because they posted it all on social media.
Yep.
How dumb.
I know. Well, that's how most of the rioters from the January 6th storming of the Capitol got caught.
Well, yeah, they posted it on social media. I just think, okay, so you're right. Those are grown adults and they really have no excuse.
Totally.
So, I thought
I like that segment because there is a wealth of examples that we will be able to use. And
every single week, if you would like me to bring a story of how stupid can you be,
I bet you 95% have to do with social media.
Yeah.
Like people are just, and again, I see a ton of people, don't, if you're going to post things that are not, don't shed very positive light on your lifestyle or decisions you're making. Don't have your boss as a friend. Don't have colleagues as a friend.
Don't do that.
You know what I mean? Like people just get so lazy and just ignorant and stupid that they're just, Yeah, your boss looks at that. Your HR department looks at that.
This is why when we were kids and we did stupid stuff, we didn't get caught.
There was no evidence. There was maybe a Polaroid shot somewhere, and then the age takes care of that because then it just dissolves.
Then you threatened that person or they bribed you forever because they had the picture, but it's not on social media. Totally. They did say, I thought was interesting when they busted the party, that most of the teenagers fled. I'm like, most?
Well, maybe some were too inebriated.
I'm thinking, so the rest were passed out.
Could you imagine getting that call if you're one of their parents?
Oh,
yowza.
I can't even fully comprehend what I would do to my child.
Hopefully you will never have to be put in that situation.
I will never. I've had this talk with them all the time when they see stuff like this online.
Yeah.
I'm like, do you see this? That's how stupid. That's how stupid this is. He's like, yeah, Mom. Anyways, I'll save that. So we're out of time. I'll save this for next week. But it is about it is about a Navy veteran, and he reunited with his long lost love 7 decades after the Korean War. They had not seen each other. He left her there. And she was pregnant. Dun, dun, dun.
Wow. So
he left on the boat and she was pregnant because he had to leave because he was in the Navy. Anyways, they've been reunited just this past month?
Oh, I love stories like that.
Really awesome.
Yep. Well, good. Well, We'll see you next time. You'll have to tune in for that. Where can people find us in the short term?
CopyTalkPodcast.com, Instagram, DM us, message us. Ryan, we forgot a hashtag last week. Give it to us.
Hashtag save your hide because of the skin stuff and because of the spending and because of the kids at the party.
See, we're raising the bar because now we have multiple topics you have to cover.
That's a threefer.
Wow.
That's a threefer.
Very well done.
She's saving me in my hair debacle. Ryan's killing it with the hashtag.
This is because I post everything on social media, so I always have to, including when I break into open houses and have parties.
Right. We should start following Ryan because then we're going to know all the stupid stuff he does.
Totally. Yeah. We'll get to know him a lot better.
Hashtag save your hide. And then, of course, there's YouTube. Subscribe,
send it to friends.
Yeah. And then if you watch us on YouTube, you can actually see some of the stuff.
Yes, that we're talking about.
Show. It's easier to see.
It is, because I don't remember Peter something and
Peter
Dr.
Roth,
Gross.
Gold iPads. Just remember gold iPads and Dr. Dennis Gross and his the chemical peel.
Awesome
pads.
Well, good. Hope everyone has a great week. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, everybody.
Discussions in this show should not be construed as specific recommendations or investment advice. Always consult with your investment professional before making important investment decisions. Securities offered through registered representatives of Cambridge Investment Research Incorporated, a broker-dealer member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services through Cambridge Investment Research Advisors Incorporated, a registered investment advisor. Financial planning services through Lighthouse Financial LLC, a registered investment advisor. Shannon Ross is CEO and managing partner of Lighthouse Financial. Lighthouse and Cambridge are not affiliated.